Hey, what's up, guys?
Yo.
Yeah, so this is another PlayStation Classic we've got for you now. I'm joined by Ricky and Tombo. They're going to help me on comms, and this is all flies for Jak and Daxter. I'll get into what the hell that means after we've got through the first level of the game. But I think we don't really have much to say before we get started. So, Tombo, do you want to give us a hand on the timer? Yeah.
Just tell me when.
So, are we all good to go? Yep. All right. Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so I'm actually already going to concentrate just a little bit here.
Yeah, we've got a cutscene skip coming up here. After every cell, there's a small cutscene.
Oh my god, I actually got it.
Stella just got it there, which is sick.
It's not actually that hard, but it's the sort of thing, I mean, it's literally 10 seconds into the run, and you can imagine, like, nerves is going to get me on that every time, but I'm happy to have just got that. So all we're doing there is we went up and we brought the camera with us, and for some reason that deloads the ground and the cell and also the cutscene. But we can like grab the cell just before everything deloads, so the cutscene won't play, but we still grab the power cell. Power cells being what I'm just grabbing here. This is the main collectible of the game, and this is the progression collectible. I don't know what you would call it, but it's what you need to get through the game. So like stars in, I don't know, any Mario game. I'm blanking on any other kind of collectible, but
Yeah, so this is all flies. You saw Stella collect 7 of them back there. There are 7 in each level, so he needs to get every single one. Once you get all 7, it does spawn a power cell, but we don't actually need to get the power cell after collecting all the flies. So it's just going to be quick A to B.
yeah. So there's 112 flies in the game, 7 in every area. I blank on how many levels that is, 12 or 13. I'm supposed to be good at math, so that's embarrassing, but yeah, so we need to collect every fly, but every 7 flies in the level gives us a power cell, but we don't have to collect it, except we did in the tutorial, because you have to get all 4 power cells to get out of the tutorial. But throughout the rest of the run, you'll see a lot of it will just be grabbing scout flies and just dipping out of the level. So we're going to go to every level in the game, so you will see every level, but you won't see a lot of some of the levels, because yeah, we're going to be in and out in a flash. And yeah, so the main structure of this run is casually you need to collect a lot of power cells to, as I said, to sort of get you through the game. But we're only going to collect 20 at the start here to get us through like the first, I don't know what you call it, checkpoint or whatever. And there are, I think it's 30 or 32, I forget exactly, power cells in the first areas of the game. And we only need 20, so basically we're going to be able to skip almost all of them. And only get the fastest ones, because we already have 4, which we had to grab. And there's another one we have to grab in a second. So that leaves only 15 in, was it 3 levels, I guess?
Yeah, 3 levels plus the hub.
And so yeah, we're really going to be only grabbing the ones that are right in our way, just to get to 20, so we can leave what we would call Hub 1, which is this first group of levels in the game. And in case you didn't notice, this game is like a seamless load, so there's no loading screens. The levels just load as you arrive to them. And this is the fish minigame, so there's not much to say about this. You've either seen it or you haven't, and you will see it if you haven't already.
Yeah, you need to do this fishing minigame in this category in order to unlock Misty Island, which has 4 of the flies.
Yeah, scout flies.
Yeah. So even if we can get 20 cells without going to Misty, but we do need to go to Misty for the flies.
Yeah, and this will give us a power cell as well. So that's the other one I said that we had to get.
Yeah. And this is a notoriously random minigame here.
All orange.
Yeah, it's super. We have a couple like little sort of checkpoints where, like, or just areas within the minigame itself where we know, like, is this good fish, is this bad fish? Usually the big one is going into eels. There's a huge eel phase you can see here. You either catch, well, he's explaining it for us, but you want to either catch 1 pound, 5 pounds, or if you catch an eel, you'll
in this river.
Yeah, that was good.
That's it. That's all we get.
Yeah.
I'm not going to embarrass myself by saying any more.
But yeah, if you catch an eel, the whole minigame restarts.
Yeah, so
go back to 0.
Catch an eel or miss 20. I'm going to say I'm not going to miss any, and then maybe I'll embarrass myself. It's incredibly easy. Again, I'm almost begging for it to go wrong, but When you've played this game enough, as many times as I have and any other Jak runner, I almost missed that fish. Yeah, this is a bit of a boring part of the run, to be honest, but it's very early on, and I don't know, I kind of like the RNG, the mix-up at the early part of the run. So yeah, we're looking, what is this looking like?
A little bit below average, maybe.
Yeah, we're sort of hoping for anything above 80 here, so we're a bit below average, unfortunately. But this can, like, it can change phase to phase.
Oh yeah, it can just turn around, like, right away.
This is already looking better, actually.
You can also get, like, a bunch of bonus 5 pounds just in the middle of the eel phase.
Yeah.
You can get, like, yes, here we go.
Yeah, so that was definitely not a bad next phase, but we're still a little bit, I mean, we're not doing too badly. This is definitely, like, fairly average.
Yeah, that one you just grabbed, so this is the eel phase. That one might be the only one we'll see, or we could get, like, 25. Oh god,
Yeah.
this is
Probably only one.
Yeah, unfortunately
okay,
not the greatest in the, oh, there you go. It heard us talking trash.
Upgraded its app.
So yeah, this is dead average. Bang average is what this fish is. I'd usually be complaining about getting average fish because when I run this game, I usually need a good fish to have a good chance of getting a PB, but yeah. 200 fish, no missed fish, crazy stuff. I'm ecstatic. Yeah. So yeah, that's, what is that, power cell number 5, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need 15 more, but yeah, we got this level to clear out and then 2 more. And now it was the fly collecting time.
That's the only necessary cell.
Yeah, that's the last necessary cell.
So the rest of them are very, well, as quick as can be.
Yeah. So I just, you may have missed it, but I just did a quick water roll jump, which is just doing a, so we haven't actually mentioned, all of this movement I'm doing is all built in the game. None of it's like special. It's just, this game is very fluid with this movement. Like they made all of the animations tie into each other very perfectly. It's really satisfying. So there's not like a massive amount of movement tech in this game because the movement tech is just play the game just fast and without hitting things. But there are little bits here and there, like punching when you go off a ledge launches you downwards a little bit faster than just falling off. And right here I'm going to uppercut into the water. And I didn't get a very good one there, but you can boost yourself forward. And right there, the eco sort of flew towards me, eco being this like electric blue stuff. That's another little bit of manip I did there. Basically just go quickly.
Yeah,
that will happen.
Blue eco is extremely useful in this category because as you can see, it breaks the scoutfly boxes immediately. And it also makes the scoutflies home in on you. If Stellar does not have blue eco, he has to either uppercut or ground pound the fly crate. And you can also see, probably later on, you'll see throughout the run, he'll spin as he's ground pounding the crate, just to like lower your airtime, just so you can keep moving on with the run. Was it boosted?
Okay, that looks really easy, but that was really difficult. It's much harder to do boosted with blue eco.
Yeah, we haven't actually mentioned what a boosted is, but that's one of the few bits of movement tech in this game, actually, is if you slowly walk off an edge and then do an uppercut, I'll do another one here, actually. Oh, okay, that's what it would look like, but imagine I went further. That's what a boosted would look like. You will see more of them. Yeah, we're gonna save the game and then load it, because I've literally I zoomed the camera in and hit a checkpoint, and then saved and loaded. Yeah, saved and loaded.
Yep.
Why does that sound, it sounds like I'm saying a word that doesn't exist there for some reason. But yeah, anyway, yeah, you'll see more boosters later, and this is gonna be the boat to Misty Island, this is why we needed to do the fisherman minigame, just to get to this level, and this is the only way to get there is riding this boat. So yeah, short little respite. And this level coming up is it's quite heavily cycle based. Getting slower cycles doesn't really matter that much. You're only losing a few seconds, but ideally we don't lose any time. Ideally we make 0 mistakes. Okay, so far so good. Here's another boosted. That's not a boosted. You're gonna get to see a cheeky backup though. I have all the backups.
Yeah, there's so many ways to get back up here. Oh, I don't think I've seen
I hate this one. This is my least favorite backup in the world, but of course it's the one I have to show off. There we go.
Good job.
Oh my, okay. Normally I would get that without a ledge grab, but... So yeah, I probably busted the cycle wide open, but see what we can make of it. And then we have to boost it back as well. This is annoyingly boosteds are like one of the few bits of movement tech in this game, and they're some of the hardest thing to do when you're nervous because you have to like very lightly hold the dead zone in this game is very like sensitive. I don't know how you really to describe it, but you have to very lightly hold the stick forward to make Jak slowly walk forward. So yeah, it's gonna be rough, but so far I'm not doing too badly on those.
Pretty easy cell here. Just get the guy with the cannon, and then there you go. We're gonna grab a cell like pretty much immediately after this as well. Guy's staring you down.
And he's dead.
Dead now.
Okay. I have not failed this roll jump in ever. So watch me drop the ball completely here. Oh my god. Okay,
Gets it, nice.
Nice. Yeah, that's hard.
Okay, that's another boosted. It's not the worst roll jump in the world, but it's very easy to mess up, and it's very awkward because you will die to a shark, which you may have just spotted on the left there.
Yeah, you need to be like in the very back of that like platform to get that roll jump.
So again, I have to go this way, so these power cells are just free, basically.
Yeah, Misty has a ton of like really quick cells, so it's actually nice that they're just here for the taking.
Do a bit of damage abuse. I was supposed to hit that one, but it doesn't matter. Gonna wait for this one. So this is the sort of cycle that matters, is you kind of want to get behind the earliest barrel possible there. I had to wait, unfortunately, for one a little bit. But then we've just got one more fly to grab here, and then another cell, and we are done with Misty.
Nice, first time we use the zoomer in the run as well.
Yeah, so we're going to see this a few times, yeah. So right here, if you were fast, I would have... That Zeppelin, the guy riding a balloon around with bombs attached, he would have been like further back in his cycle, and I could have jumped around the left of him, and then I could have died to him. Instead, I had to drive over and die to that guy instead, but barely loses any time, really.
Yeah, this little death abuse there to get spawned right next to the boat.
Yeah, there's so many death abuses in this category, and it's actually really optimized. Despite being more of a like slightly more miscellaneous category, there's actually been a lot of work put into this category. Once you've run this game for a long enough time, a lot of top players say that this is like one of the best categories in the game, just because the movement's just really different and really fluid, I would say.
Yeah, there's cutscenes in Hub 1, which is the area we're in now, but they already start to drop off because you're also not grabbing power cells, which you may have noticed every single one of them has a little dance that Jak and Daxter do.
Yeah, 6-second cutscene.
So we're not going to be grabbing power cells after Hub 1 really, with a few exceptions, so you won't have to see any of those anymore. Sorry if you enjoyed them, but they're all gone. I hate these. Right.
This is Sentinel Beach. This is the last level that we'll get to in Hub 1.
Yep.
It's one of the better levels in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, very nostalgic.
It's a bad opinion, but we'll just gloss over that. So yeah, right there you saw another great example of why Blue Eco is so useful, because I can just go flying right past that scout fly. I don't even have to worry about it. It just picks itself up, basically. And I'm going to sort of do the same thing here. As much as I'm not a massive Sentinel fan, it does have some of the cooler bits of movement, and we get this.
Yeah, that extended there.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
I love that. Dip down, get it with like the Blue Eco magnet, I guess.
Yeah, and then just come straight back up and touch the ground.
Yeah. So even though we had to go out our way to unblock all those, I mean, that's what, not even 10 seconds for this power cell, so this is one of the slowest ones we get, but it's still obviously pretty fast. And right there, that's a sort of a curved roll jump. Normally when you do a roll jump, you sort of do it straight forward like this. But if you delay your inputs and sort of turn Jak just before he lifts off the ground, you can sort of do like curved ones like this, like that.
Good for spacing.
Yeah, it's a not necessary bit of tech. I don't think it's intended by the devs or anything. It's not necessary at all, but it's like if you want to get really good at adapting to like anything that happens in this game, you want to be good at. You want to at least give them a try because they are very useful. Anyway, so we're now at 19 cells, and we have one more to get. And if you've been paying attention, you may have noticed we haven't grabbed all 7 in this level that I've been running through like a madman. And that is because... Okay. Just go around. No biggie. Gives this guy a slap. Another bonk for our troubles. And that's, yeah, that's power cell number 20. That's all... What is that, 21? No, it's not 21. Oh, God. How many flies is that? What's 4 times?
28.
28.
28.
Oh,
There we go. Maths with the Jak community.
Yes. And there we go. So, this is, I guess technically this is Hub 1, but this is the last level and it's the first sort of zoomer transition level of the game. So it's pretty straightforward. You just drive from the start to the end. We're still going to grab scout flies because there's still scout flies here, unfortunately. But after this, it's a whole lot of smash and grab, really, in all the levels. There's not going to be a whole lot of stopping.
Yeah, we have ways of getting past these sort of roadblocks that we need a certain number of power cells for.
Yeah.
So now we don't need to get any cells. We can just get flies and then get through the game.
Yeah, this is a pretty straightforward level as well. We probably have time for like 2 donations, I'd say.
Lovely, that sounds perfect to me. I've got a $10 donation from Izzy who says, "Hi Stella,
hello,
this
Izzy.
is your daily Duolingo reminder." Thank you, Izzy, for that reminder. This seems to be a theme as well. We've got a $50 donation come in from Ollie.jpg who says, "Hey Stella, Duolingo here. Looks like you missed your daily German lesson, and you know what happens next. I donate to charity, of course."
Yes.
Ollie.jpg and Izzy, thank you very much for your donations, and back to you.
Thank you. Yes, me and Izzy, we're both high on our donation streak, Duolingo streak, and we're just egging each other on at this point. Because we're bound to forget, for all the exciting stuff happening at ESA, it's really easy to forget to do your Duolingo. So let's just not die here, quickly. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, so in Fire Canyon, because it's hot lava, you have a heat meter that if it gets too high, Jak will blow up and we go all the way back to the start of the level.
The reason this is so close, by the way, is because we didn't actually unlock the blue eco vent in Forbidden Jungle as well, which gives you a speed boost throughout this level.
Yeah, so if you get blue eco on a zoomer, you go faster. Like it doesn't just go away. Like you keep the speed as long as you're holding X. But we don't have any blue eco in Fire Canyon, as Ricky just said, because you have to actually activate it in one of the earlier levels, and we skipped doing that because it was slower, obviously.
So this is a cutscene skip?
Yeah.
Yes. So what I just did there, right here you can see the game pause. I actually just buffered a pause for 2.5 seconds. So I pressed the pause button and then a HUD button, which is bringing up the HUD like that. I pressed them on the same frames. This is a 60 frames per second game. And that delays a pause for 2.5 seconds, and it allows you to basically go through, not exactly, we call them cutscene bubbles. It's not technically true, but it's easy to think about it that way. You can go through cutscene bubbles without starting the cutscene while you're in this sort of buffered pause state. And what I did there is I jumped on a button, which is supposed to start a cutscene. I paused the game before it could start the cutscene. I saved and loaded to get out of the cutscene, out of the bubble of the cutscene, and then I did a pause buffer and jumped through it to the other side of it, and then the game paused itself, and then I just continued on my way. So that's a long way of saying I skipped a cutscene, except that isn't actually what I did, because the cutscene's still there. I just basically escaped the cutscene, and if we get close to that hut again, it will play. So. And already we are pretty much done with this level. It's a very quick just drive around, grab all 7, and right here we're going to do a neat little trick, which is I'm going to pause just as I hit it. And you see in the bottom left, every time I grab a power cell, there's an autosave icon that pops up. And what I did there is I paused when I hit the power cell. It autosaved the game, so it saved me getting the scout fly and the power cell, but then I loaded, and that pulled me out of Basin without having to watch the cutscene that you'd normally get.
So here you can see Stella keeping his camera to the left.
Yeah.
That's because the cutscene trigger bubble, as we call it, is you can hit it going over to this next level. So we want to avoid that, obviously.
Please get villaged.
No.
So this is LPC. The previous level was entirely on a zoomer, but this is just kind of like this cool underwater section.
Yep.
It's a little bit lengthier. Also, some of the scout flies are kind of like out of the way, like this one. But in order to get back up, we're going to do this neat little piggyback here.
please.
Oh, nice try. You can catch that cycle and get up a little bit earlier there.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's we call that piggybacking, and we're not actually going to do it again in this category, but
It's fun.
Yeah, there's a common one in the other categories. Yeah.
And this is Larry Jr., one of our good friends. Gonna curve roll jump around him, and I was hoping I would uppercut him on the way out, but he lives another day.
One of the things you'll notice in these levels coming up is everything can damage you. The water turns hazardous, there's pipes, enemies everywhere. It's a really difficult level to do quickly because everything can hurt you.
Yep. And there's a lot of boosters, as you're seeing, at least in this room anyway. There's a bunch of them rapid fire, and if you mess them up and the water is electrified, so green, then that's damage taken, which we have 3 health total, so it's not too bad, but we do want to preserve it a little bit.
Real quick, also, those scout flies and those pipes, you have to actually hit the button. Even if you manage to clip into it, you cannot collect it.
Yeah, we've tried.
Yep.
Don't worry, we have tried. So, fun fact, if you ever played this game, holding forward on this slide speeds you up. I actually did speedruns of this game for like 3 months before anybody told me that.
I think it was a year for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you should have admitted that on
It's kind of like in Jak 3 when you're in sub-rails, just holding X, there's no visual indication, but you go
It doesn't
fast.
tell you, but it's faster, but it is, yeah. Yeah, so we're just activating this pod. We don't really want to, but we have to leave somehow, and I'm gonna... Okay. So I am on 1 health right now, and that's by design. So I'm gonna grab the last fly and then immediately die and leave.
Good
That was LPC. That was a pretty good LPC, yeah.
It's good.
Nice. Nice, bruv.
Nice.
I had to get at least 1 brub in. Okay, so that's LPC done, and now we're moving on to the last proper level of the second hub, Hub 2. But we're getting into the first sort of like significant trick, I guess, in the run. There's been a lot of minor stuff, but we're just beginning. We're actually only just setting it up right now. So it's what we call an idle deload, and we're going to be doing it 3 separate times in this run. So it's kind of complicated, but we shall have plenty of time to educate and demonstrate. Pause.
That's a really cool skip there, skipping the boulder, which is the sort of the block to keep you out here until you have enough power cells.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to be up here. I'm supposed to have 45 power cells, but it's a very easy... I just went over it without even thinking, but that uppercut to the boulder I did is skips needing 45 power cells. We just go back past it again. So you may wonder, why did I just go up to the boss and then turn around and run back, and now I'm going to Boggy Swamp? And that is to start setting up this idle deload. So you'll see it when it happens. It's very obvious when it happens later on. But we need to store our levels, and in this game there's always 2 levels loaded at all times. I said before it has seamless loads, and the way it does that is by having 2 levels loaded at the same time, and then when you get close to a 3rd level, it deloads one of them and loads the new 3rd level in its place. So it always has 2 at once. So if you ever die, watch a cutscene, which is what we just did up at the boss, where he just like flexed on us or something. Or what did I say? Die, watch a cutscene, or save and load. You can store the 2 levels that you currently have loaded, as well as like your checkpoint. Qatar is actually behind me, probably grimacing at this explanation, but I'm trying to keep it simple here. So basically, I stored the 2 levels that I had loaded that time, which is Mountain Pass, which is where the boss was, and Rock Village, which is that like rainy area with all the water. But now we're in Boggy Swamp, which is neither of those 2. That's a nice little shortcut there. And when I get to the end of this level, I am going to stand still, believe it or not, for 30 seconds.
Which doesn't sound very intuitive, but...
Yeah, it's not very speedrunning.
Yeah. Just trust.
And it's not very flashy either, at least the standing still part, but it does get exciting. I know that's not a very good sell, but but yeah, when we're almost there, we've booked 5. This is quickly, this is also a quad jump here. I'm going to shoot yellow eco just to give me a little bit of an upward boost there to make that. You can actually do it without that, but it makes it a whole lot easier. That's the only time you're ever going to see that, so hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, we're going to get to the last one here. And it used to be the case that I would need a 30-second timer right here to help me with this, but I don't anymore. So I'm standing still, and you can see here I'm holding the X button, and that's all I'm doing. This guy won't attack me because I'm stood in this corner. That's why I'm using this corner. I'm also on solid ground, which is important, because after 30 seconds on solid ground, Jak and Daxter do this little dance, what we call an idle animation. But because of the setup we did, and where we are stood, and the fact that I'm holding this X button, yeah, something's going to happen.
Yeah, so in the game's like memory, like basically the stored level ID is Claw's like level now. So now that he falls here, the game's going to put us to the closest checkpoint in correlation to Jak's position, which happens to be behind Claw. So now we skipped behind him into Mountain Pass.
Yeah, so if I were to turn around, which I'm not going to do because I'll lose time, but if I were to turn around, you'd see the giant dude who flexed on us earlier that we've just totally bypassed. And yeah, that's an idle deload. If you didn't get it, I don't blame you because it's weird and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But there's just some weird failsafe in the game where if you're holding any set of particular buttons, like the face buttons on the controller, or holding pause, or you can be paused at the right moment, stuff like that, it runs a failsafe when the idle animation starts to play. And if you have the right sort of conditions set up when that happens, it can obviously prove very advantageous, and it can put you in a checkpoint that you're really not supposed to be at. And we're going to use that 2 more times in this run. And so in total, in this run, we're going to be standing still for 2 minutes. And I can promise you it is faster than not doing that.
In this level, Stellar's also going to do some small skips at the end here.
Yep.
So he has 6 scout flies already. Also, you don't want to be going too fast. You can see him slowing down here. You can lose the race by going too fast. So he's going to skip this scout fly here, kill this guy, then run in and get the checkpoint there.
Yep.
And then watch this.
The same thing as in Basin.
Yep.
Pause the game, load it because it auto-saved. I skip that cutscene, and I also don't have to grab that cell because there's an invisible wall there, which that cell gets rid of, but it's terribly placed, as you probably saw.
Yeah, you can just uppercut under it.
You wouldn't have known it was there if I didn't tell you. So, yeah. And I didn't do anything special to get past it. Now, this is another cutscene skip. And that one, that's an actual skip. So right there, I did a pause buffer again. It's the same as the one in the previous hut. Yep, thank you.
Yeah, that one's like 3 minutes, so like,
Yeah,
you don't want to miss
really
that.
want to be skipping that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying not to draw attention to how long it was going to take to watch it, but yeah.
So these mine carts are just terrible to move on. Yeah. Oh my god.
Horrendous.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I pause buffered again, and I hit the button. So the cutscene was ready to play, but it wouldn't play because I had a pause buffered, and I had 2.5 seconds to get out of the hut and kill myself. And if you are in the act of dying when a cutscene starts to play, it will just skip the cutscene completely. Like, it will think that you have watched it. So.
There's a death warp. Stellar's turning the camera around there just to get the checkpoint, because a lot of triggers and checkpoints and stuff in the Jak games are they're camera based a lot of the time, effectively. Oh, there you go. You said it.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen at least once.
Yeah. So is that the scout fly bouncing up as you're trying to ground pound it?
Exactly. Yeah.
So you can see the scout flies do like jump every now and then. So if that happens as that's going on, then
yeah, we just call it unbreakable box glitch, but it's literally just you're trying to ground pound on one of the scout fly boxes, but it jumps up to meet you, and so it sort of cancels the animation too early, and you just sort of bounce off it and look like an idiot. But yeah, you may wonder, I've been saying about how we don't need power cells, and I just grabbed that one for no reason. Well, obviously it was for a reason, and obviously I'm just not an idiot, and I didn't forget to not grab it. But we need to grab 2 power cells to get to the next level in this run. Because to get to the level, Snowy Mountain, you have to ride up a gondola, and for whatever reason, I guess they wanted you to play this level first or something. They made it so that the gondola doesn't activate until you have collected 2 additional power cells. So we are grabbing a second one in here as well.
Yeah, this is Dark Cave. There's only 1 fly in here, but there's some pretty cool movement. I don't know why I really like this right here. pretty smooth.
Yeah, you can do this all without the lamps, but just for convenience sake.
Yeah. We'll hear a much better death sound than that soon enough.
Yeah, soon enough. Yeah, if you're not aware, don't go anywhere after this run's finished because we've got some more banger Jak content for you right after this. But I shall say no more on that.
Keep it a secret, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the last scout flight, 7. You get the deal. We've done this before, but this is the second power cell we needed to unlock the gondola. And I'm just gonna leave right there. Actually, it's a full damage cancel. It doesn't cancel the full damage, but it cancels like the animation of getting up off the floor.
Yeah, all you do is just go in and out of the goggles by pressing triangle twice.
More death warps. And right here, we're gonna grab another few of these before we go up the snowy mountain. Because again, every level has these. And then we're going to grab them now so I can do this, rather than having to go back up and all the way back round to get to this gondola. Okay, so Snowy Mountain, and the beginnings of the biggest trick in the run, a very significant trick, which is LTS. So we mentioned that we skipped the 45 power cell requirement, and there's one more, which is the 72 power cell requirement. And that we call it lava tube skip because lava tube is the start of the level where you need 72 power cells, and we don't skip the level, we just skip past the first checkpoint, I guess, and the requirement.
We skip the zoomer requirement, yeah. So in this level, Stellar's gonna try to progressively gain. He's gonna be farming like a bit of health. You can see when he defeated that enemy, he dropped a bit of green eco. There's like a heart meter in this game as well, as you can see up in the top left corner as well. When you get 50. You actually gain 4 health. He needs all 4 health in order to perform lava tube skip. So he has to not take any damage and get like all 50 basically.
So you're not supposed to be here on foot. You're supposed to. There's a bird that we haven't unlocked. It was way back at the start of the game. We were supposed to unlock this bird that you can ride around in 2 of the levels. This being one of them.
You need to do like a platform challenge. And
yeah.
You park it right there at that thing.
Park the bird there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with a quick little skip there, we managed to just... Okay, I did miss that checkpoint. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. So, yeah, we skipped that. But we did need to get into this area, fortress. So that's why we grabbed the power cell, is it opens the door to this place. Because there are 2 scout flies in here. That was a deep one. So yeah, now I'm already on my way out of the level. I've only grabbed 3, but I'm already on my way out, and I'm starting to grab health here. So I'm looking for a guy. There's my guy. There's another one. Hello. And there's oh my goodness me. Don't mind if I do. So yes, I'm trying to grind up to, as Ricky said, 50 in the top left.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, that guy's... I'm not a big fan of that guy. Or that scout fly box. So it's okay. It gave me 1, a bit stingy, but no worries. So yeah, the health system's a bit weird in this game. You always respawn with 3 out of 4. Oh my goodness me! And yeah, you have to grind these small green pellets to get more, which takes actually quite a long time to do, as you can see. Although I am trying to traverse through the level at the same time. I'm getting shafted right now with some of these drops.
In some of the earlier levels, you get a big green eco, which counts for 1 whole, like 50 of the little ones, but because this is later on in the game, they don't want to give you one of those.
Right, I'm also going to make a safety save here, just in case, for later. Hopefully we don't need to use it, but if we do, no big deal.
Here's gondola skip on foot. Basically, Stellar's going to try to skip the ride back down to Volcanic Crater. Looking decent?
Yeah, looking good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, nice.
And we're just going to sort of slowly fall.
There we go.
And take no damage.
Good stuff. So what lava tube skip essentially is we're going to do like sort of the same thing as before, but Stellar basically needs to get out of bounds first. Actually, I'll go more into like cold spots and whatnot later on.
I did not like that camera at all. And also quite dark on the screen. Okay.
Ooh. Nice.
So remember I talked about storing levels, and last time we watched a cutscene where the guy flexed a lot. This time, we're just going to stand. Another way you can store level, there's 3 ways, and I didn't mention this one. But you can stand still, and when an idle animation plays, and I'm not holding anything this time, they'll just start dancing, and that will also store the levels. So I also moved my camera, and right here I'm hitting a trigger for Lava Tube. So the music you can hear is actually Lava Tube. So when they start dancing, there we go, stored it.
Yep, so now Volcanic Crater is stored in the game's level ID. So now Stella's going to try and do a checkpoint bypass to get around this.
Yeah.
And you can see the game still thinks he's in Crater, so he's going to have to traverse through Lava Tube now, utilizing as many of these cold spots as possible. There's a couple areas where you can see Stellar's standing, and it's just not damaging him. So he needs all 4 health in order to traverse through the Lava Tube. Just because that's, you need all the health you can here, pretty much. You can stand here.
Yeah, making all these kind of little adjustments just to stay on the cold stuff as much as I can.
Yeah,
that's why we needed the extra health, because you need it to get here. And this is the worst part of the whole thing. That's not going to work. Oh, goodness me, okay.
Yeah.
That's not the way I wanted to fail that, if anything, but maybe. So this is why I made the save up here. We can grab health, and we can give it a shot. I'm going to give it another proper shot, and then I have a safety save a little bit further on that all you would have missed. Well, actually, I won't spoil it because we have another shot at it here, but an unfortunate way to miss it, but not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's
it's one of the most difficult.
It's easily the hardest part of this whole run is just there. So what I should explain what I was going to do there is I was going to do a boosted off of a box about half a meter above lava, which I was on 1 health, so as you saw, touching it killed me. And I need to not die. So now I need to farm my way back up to full health here.
And one of the really annoying things about the boxes, like we said before, is that they jump up in the air. So if getting the boosted on them, and they're jumping everywhere, it can be very difficult.
No. I did not need to kill that enemy. I just kind of felt like it, to be honest. I don't even see where I am. Okay. Do that again.
Damn, Jack's out of breath.
He is. Sounding just like me for real. Right. So yeah, because I loaded a save, we're gonna have to grab these 2 scout flies again. Right. See how this goes the second time.
So that's a rocket there that boosts him up against the rail there.
Oh my goodness me.
And then
I'm not doing this, by the way. This is the camera freaking out. I think I may have just missed. I did. Okay. I'll go for this. Go get health again. The movement there is really horrendous if you do it slowly. I'm doing it slowly for safety, but the camera just freaks out, as you could probably tell.
Yeah, so that rocket is actually a blessing, because we used to have to do a different kind of rocket to get out of bounds in that section. You used to have to do a long punch into an uppercut into a plank that you could bonk on and then fall and die into the lava. So with this one, it's pretty easy. All you do is basically just crouch next to it and just uppercut, and you'll get it within a few tries. So, shouts to that one being discovered.
Where are these guys? Luckily these guys infinitely respawn, so normally that would actually be annoying, but it's very useful for farming health here.
They are spawning furthest apart they can.
Yeah. And as soon as I break the boxes, they decide to show up. Yeah. Right. Did not want to have to do this trick 3 times, but there you go.
Textbook.
Yeah, getting it all 3 times is very impressive.
Yeah.
Right. Bet you've seen that before. So, here we go. 3rd time's the charm, maybe? I'm just going to go for this and not wait around, which is probably what I should have done the first time. There we go. Right.
Nice.
Okay, so at least I can explain this again. So right here, I'm touching the checkpoint. The game thinks we're in Lava Tube. That's what music's playing. We're going to store Lava Tube and Volcanic Crater because there are 2 loaded levels. So it's same as it was before. The only difference is we're going to be stood in one of those 2 loaded levels this time. Last time we stored 2 levels and then we went in a 3rd one. This time we're actually going to be stood in one of those 2, which is why I have to do this. You'll see in a minute. I have to do this
I can try and give a nerdy explanation. I did video research for this one. Basically, you need to store Volcanic Crater, and when Stellar gets into Lava Tube and the failsafe triggers, the game basically has no idea where to put Jak. So the failsafe is putting Jak's, like, the checkpoint is basically like the closest in proximity to Jak's position, which is why you're able to spawn like halfway through Lava Tube for this, basically. So the position that Stellar is trying to get to is just barely closer to the second checkpoint, which is why he doesn't spawn all the way back at the beginning of the level effectively.
Yeah, so I'll give this another shot, and on a good day I'd be hitting this 9.9 times out of 10. I know that doesn't make any sense, but there we go.
That's it.
He gets it, yeah.
Yes. I've been refraining from saying how hard this is just to not give him some nerves, but that is insanely hard. Like, seriously.
Yes, now we have another idle deload.
Yeah, and once again, I'm holding X. This is a very difficult trick. I mean, this part is easy, but the bit before was quite difficult.
Yeah.
And you may notice that there'll be a giveaway when it happens.
Yeah, so now the game's going to attempt to verify that, like, oh, is Jak in Volcanic Crater? Oh, he's not. Well, okay, he's in Lava Tube. So now we need to give him a checkpoint. Well, let's give him the closest one. So it gives us this one on the zoomer halfway through the level, effectively.
Yeah, so that was Lava Tube skip. And the giveaway I was looking for there is Jak's toe twitched. So I was just staring
Is
at
that
it.
really it?
Yeah, genuinely.
Okay.
So normally he does an idle animation, right? But it gets interrupted when this failsafe happens, and so it only plays like the first frame of the animation. So his toe just twitches like he's about to start dancing, and then he just doesn't do anything. And I was trying to snipe this well. What a soldier this Scoutfly is. There we go.
Yeah, so the reason... oh, you're trying to keep Luico there is why you like kind of did those turns, yeah.
So yeah, we had to backtrack to get those two Scoutflies because they were earlier on in the level. The bass on these headphones is amazing. when I blew those up.
Yeah, we call that the orange room because there's 5 oranges spinning. Yeah, huge orange.
Actually, I think there's 6 oranges. But
Wait, is it 6?
okay, I really hope it is 6, otherwise that's going to be embarrassing.
The crowd, no clue.
Does anybody know? Has anybody ever played this game before?
Anyone remember Jak and Daxter?
So, Lava Tube, not a whole lot goes on here, but don't worry, there's a whole lot of stuff that happens in our last level after this one. I am just grabbing the Scoutflies as I go. There's no blue, there is, you saw me grab 2 blue eco earlier on in the level, but that's actually, I had to die, and I lost my blue eco because I died, and then we were past where the blue eco spawns, so you have to do this entire level just slow and steady. But yeah, so that's the last Scoutfly here in Lava Tube, and that's the second to last level done. We're on to the last level, so I should say, all flies isn't just get all the flies, it's get all the flies and finish the game. As most speedrun categories, you have to finish the game as well. So we are going to grab all the Scoutflies in this last level and then go and fight the final boss. But first, another cheeky cutscene skip, you know the drill. Pause buffer, activate it, and this time die within 2.5 seconds. Skips the cutscene. Now, we're going to do, you guessed it, another standstill idle deload.
Yeah, a lot is going to happen after the 30-second standstill, so
Nice point.
maybe we should talk about some of that.
Yeah, so what I did there is I stored, or I got a checkpoint in the next level. That's why I ran into that corridor halfway. And then I died, so I stored both Lava Tube and the last level, which is Citadel. And I'm just going to go that. So we have our 2 stored levels again. And it's the one, you want to have a checkpoint in the level you're trying to get to every time. So I went in and I got a Citadel checkpoint because I want to get into Citadel. And we're going to do an idle deload here. You can watch for the Twitch if you really don't believe me. I don't know if you're going to see it, but it's exciting when it happens. I don't want to blink in case I miss it, to be completely honest. I hope.
My eyes are turning dry.
Oh my god, there we go.
Oh, I saw it. It was the left one, right? No?
Yeah, it was. Wow, okay.
Oh.
I'm going to let this play out. I don't know why that even happened, but that was not supposed to happen. Unfortunately.
Do they have you mopping the floors now?
Any chance for a couple of donations?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for
Brilliant.
it,
We
yeah,
have
I'm
a
gonna be stuck in this cutscene.
$25 donation from Villa, who says thank you and good luck to the runners.
Thank you.
$7 from Sisan Girl, who says the childhood game, let's go. Hype. Good luck, runners. $20 from Fennis with no message. $55 from Captain Capture, who says great show, good luck. And $5 from Cookie Bunny One with no message. Thank you to everybody for your donations.
Thank you, thank you. So yeah, I'm not supposed to be watching this, so I hope you enjoyed that quick bit of lore there. And I'm actually going to redo that last little bit, and hopefully that doesn't happen again. So I'm just going to load back out here. No, I'm not. I'm going to go and skip the cutscene again.
Yep.
As you can see, the door didn't open because I haven't watched this cutscene.
Yeah, that is actually the cutscene that plays when you enter Citadel, right there.
Yeah.
And effectively, what Stellar was trying to do was hit the cutscene. We're going to call it bubble again here for just an easier explanation. He's going to try and hit the cutscene bubble and fall and die like at the same time, which effectively skips it.
Yeah, so this whole deal again. So I said we're going to stand still for 2 minutes. Unfortunately, this has ended up being more than 2 minutes of standing still, but at least we got to watch for the Twitch again. This is turning into my favorite activity.
Yeah, so after skipping the cutscene, not only is there that, there's also like there's also what we call Citadel skip, which basically just warps us to the top of the Citadel.
Yeah, right next to the end of the level.
Yeah, which is really convenient because Stellar's going to try and grab most of the flies from there. It's actually very simple. You just basically grab the fly, you die, you spawn it at the top again. You can get like an easy approach to each fly. See? There you go. You can see the black bars like crunch in on the game there, and that is the cutscene that we watched, which was now skipped. And now we skipped another cutscene. Like I said, a lot of stuff happens here at the start. The Stellar's gonna grab this fly and then die. Go back up to the top. It's going to do this a couple times just because it's just a very convenient checkpoint in order to like traverse and get all these flies quickly.
Yeah, we don't want to get another checkpoint because if we do, we won't be able to get back up to the end of the level without fully completing it, which would take time.
Yeah, it'll take a lot of time. This is like the only section where there's like a fly a bit further in.
So there's a quick checkpoint bypass here. I'm literally just going to run under the checkpoint there. And that's why I won't spawn up here. It's obviously hard for me to explain where the checkpoint is, but it was right.
Oh!
Oh, this is weird.
Oh!
Ooh.
Am I gonna get a full? No. Okay. Maybe a full ride round. So yeah, I didn't want that to happen. In case you didn't realize, but.
One of the annoying things about Citadel is that you'll see all the spinning stuff. It's fully cycles everywhere that can really get in your way.
Yeah, and they're like really long as well. So it's really difficult to kind of like just know where stuff is, basically. Is it global? I think so.
Yeah. So as soon as console power's on, those things start. Well, they don't start spinning because they're not loaded in, but the numbers that control which position they're in will start going.
Yo, that was the last scout flight.
Yeah, that was the last scout flight.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
112
there we
scout
go.
flights.
That's all of them. All right, final boss.
Final boss. There is one trick which I hope I get. We have 3 chances at these, so we'll see. Oh, there's this as well. Didn't you find this, Ricky?
Yeah. Anyone could have found that though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give myself.
So in case you didn't realize that was
just a 2-second death warp. Yeah,
Yeah.
just fall off the ledge halfway through there.
Oh, okay. So I'm trying to go for what we call 1 frames. I bet you can imagine how many frames you have to do the inputs for a 1 frame. I'm not even going to tell you because it's so obvious. But I'm pressing X, and then 15 frames later, I'm pressing circle, exactly. So that's a quarter of a second because this game, again, is 60 frames per second.
Which essentially lowers Stellar to it allows him to lower his height so that he can get back down to the boss platform a little bit quicker. The last one does save a little bit more time, but anything counts on this last guy.
Yeah. No, okay. Just in case I don't get this last one, all that you already see is when I go on the jump pad, Jak will just start spinning furiously around, and he won't go quite as high in the air. I would love to get the last one, but
They are very tricky. Go one friend.
Dodging the onion rings there. No, okay.
All good.
But yeah, so all they would have done is they would have, as soon as the bomb blows up, the next phase would have started instantly without this guy waiting around. So it saves a few seconds on each one. So it's hardly game breaking, although at top level, those 1 frames on the boss are a big deal. I'm just mashing for my life here. There we go.
That's the boss.
That is the boss done. We have one more cutscene to watch, and that'll be the run done and dusted. I'll put myself in the air there. So yeah, the plot of this game, I don't even know where to start. These guys are these are the bad guys. We're about to do something very mean to them. That's about it. This guy was human when we started, and he's not anymore, and he never will be again. Spoilers.
So the end of this one is actually a little bit luck-based, so maybe you gotta lean in over the button here.
Oh yeah, Tom.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah, because so some light eco is gonna drop down, and it can be really close or it can be really far away. So a couple seconds of variance here.
Yeah, and as soon as I touch it, that'll be the end of the run. That's not a terrible spot.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, we
did it.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, so that was Jak and Daxter All Flies. A few little hiccups in there, but I mean, I'm glad that I got to do the hardest trick in the run without having to load a backup save, which I did have just in case. But yeah, that was. Yeah, nerves got to me a bit, but that wasn't too bad. And yeah, I really enjoyed myself. Thanks for having me. Thank you, Tombo and Ricky, for commentating on me. Thanks to the PlayStation Nation behind me. I see you guys. Thanks a lot. Thank you for the Duolingo reminders. I'm gonna forget, but thank you anyway. And yeah, don't go anywhere because we've got more Jak. As I said, we've got more Jak by this guy here. Something really special that you're going to see in just a little bit. So yeah, thank you. Stay tuned.
We absolutely do. Thank you very much, Stella, and what a run, everybody. Am I right? Yeah. There we go. Thank you very much. Let's finish it off now with a $100 donation that's coming from Gopher. Maybe slightly late, but it says, "Good luck, runners. Y'all rock." Yes. And everyone else too, you're all awesome. No Gopher, you're awesome. Thank you for your donation. We will be back after this short intermission with Jak 3: The Journey Back Gold Edition. Don't go anywhere. Stay